takes like 2 weeks.
Sylvie's looking to you.
But it's just how. Yeah.
Carton line is you want to look at your vehicle. You want to make sure you turned your headlights out. Because see, if they're on now, in 2 hours they're going to automatically shut themselves off. And you're going to have a dead battery. So double check. Make sure the headlights are on.
Borrow pit. This is not a naturally occurring pond or lake. This was dredged out, blasted out by the Army Corps of Engineers back in 1905. There are pipes built underneath the road every 100 feet or so, which allow this water to flow. Great blue heron can stand over 4 feet tall. It has a wingspan of about 6 feet. That's almost as wide as this tram. There's a good look at it. But this is how deep the water is. It's this deep right here, and it's this deep just about as far as the eye can see. And I'm not sinking down at all. I have it disappeared so that only my hat is floating away on the river. There's a reason for that. There's rock underneath me. Not just a little rock, not just 10 or 20 feet. There are 3 miles of rock down here. 3 miles of rock laid down by an ancient ocean that overlay this area all the way up until about 25,000 years ago. So this is a fairly recent, fairly new ecosystem. But there's more to this than meets the eye too. In fact, I don't even know if I can pick up this whole thing. Look at all of this. Look at this extensive root system. That's because this plant is not even anchored to the bottom. This plant is free floating. The Everglades is a very nutrient poor system because all this water is flowing. Any nutrients that occur eventually get absorbed very quickly or washed out to sea. So this plant gets its nutrition from a different source. There are little bladders here, little sacs. When a tiny aquatic insect, say mosquito larva, swims by, all these hairs you see trigger a reaction. A pore in the sac opens up, there's a flow of water, and this thing eats mosquito larvae. It's called a bladderwort, and he's one of the reasons that we really don't have a lot of mosquitoes around Shark Valley. So I'm going to put this right back where I got him. Let's see what else I can find. Oh, okay, look at this. Right here, you see what looks like a cluster of pearls. Everybody see this? These are snail eggs. The female snail has laid them very carefully above the high water mark, otherwise they would drown. And this is an extremely important source of food for many of the different birds and animals that live here in the sawgrass prairie. There's one bird called the snail kite, very endangered, that eats only these snails. This is its sole source of food, the apple snail. That other bird, the darker bird beside the bird that just flew, is the moorhen. That's the bird that built the nest. Not the same bird, but the same species of bird. And there you see flying over the borrow pit, sweet bay magnolia, wax myrtle, which is also called bayberry. So they're called bay heads. Using the periphyton covers the surface of the limestone, kind of like a moist blanket. But this is the great white heron. So we're fortunate to get a look at this bird. He's not rare, he's not endangered, but he has a very limited range. At one time he was thought they don't just wander about the sawgrass, but they take a path with a bright yellow bill. And were he to fly, you'd see that he had jet black legs. You have a backpack, take it with you. Okay, meet everybody back here in about 20 minutes at 20 after 2.
Een beetje moeder met een rolstoel.
Has very little oil because he is a diving bird. Because he does swim under the water, the oil would make him too buoyant. But as a result, he's very easily chilled. The water soaks through his feathers, and he has to assume this very characteristic pose of having his wings outspread. It dries his wings, and it also allows him to absorb the sunlight and warm up. Another name for this bird is snakebird. In fact, Anhinga is an Indian name meaning snakebird, and when this bird swims just below the surface of the water with only his head and neck sticking out, he looks very much like a snake. About 7 inches from eye to nose, thus 7 feet long. This is an adult alligator who's lost the... And he's in no hurry to move, giving us a very, very good look.
Oh.
Ja, hè?
He bites off something. Ah, look at that. He's eating something right now. For him to swallow it down. And this apparently is fairly well on its way.
Así es, con los niñitos, la escuela viene, lo aguanta ahí.
That's right, it might have been that egret that we saw. All right, well, here we see nature up close and personal here. Branch, flip it up in the air and swallow it whole, face down, head first, fundant. It's found all the way up and down the east and west coasts of the United States. It's found in Europe, it's found in Africa, and found in Asia. So this double-crested, so someone has lost a poncho back there. I suggest that you hop back in quickly. What is it with this tram today? Okay, is everybody getting a good look at the female and her babies?
Yep. Waar is de klein?
Illustreert.
Oh ja, de klein zit nog op de rug, of niet? Nee, precies. Achter.
Ja, hier.
Oh. There's another one.
So this is a wonderful opportunity to view the one bed. She warned us off with that mighty hiss, which I don't know about you, but it scared me. This has been a remarkable tram for another reason, and that's because of what we just saw back there, the baby alligators with the mom, the alligator that was feeding. We saw all the different kinds of bird life we might expect to see, plus we saw the great white heron.